An argument is an address or composition intended to convince or persuade. Everyday people use arguments to prove and further their point to the opposing side by expressing a point of view on a subject and supporting it with evidence. The type of argument displayed is logos because of the case study comparing the residue on the dishes after using Cascade compared to the bargain brand, as well as the comparison that one Cascade cleans more efficiently than 6 of a bargain brand.
Purpose is the reason that something is done or created. It can also be to either win or persuade others. For this ad, the purpose is to convince people to buy their product. They do this by providing compelling reasons and delivering a visual example of an everyday situation that people can relate to.
Intended audience is defined as a group of people for which a service or product is designed for. Ads and argumentative writing are all written for a specific targeted group of people to see and persuade. The intended audience in this commercial is everyday people, specifically adults who use the dishwasher. Bill Maher opened his argument by stating that these traumatic events kept happening because no one seems to want to listen to what the opposing side has to say, and therefore refuses to change their point of view. This prevents any sort of resolution to be made. He then follows his statement with a counter-argument of one quote from one guy by the name of Caleb Keeter, who changed his point of view after witnessing the effects of unregulated gun control firsthand. Keeter stated, "I've been a proponent of the Second Amendment my entire life. Until the events of last night, I cannot express how wrong I was." This opened the possibility that people who strongly believe in gun control may compromise so a solution can be made.
This second speaker argued his points using casualty statistics from World War II, specifically Airborne 86, compared to the casualty and injured statistics of the recent Las Vegas shooting to show the amount of destruction that was inflicted, essentially comparing a domestic shooting to acts of war to proclaim the seriousness he believes Americans should be taking the issue of gun control. To further his argument, he mentions how he himself owns guns, yet does not have access to, quote, weapons of war because of the current restrictions placed on various guns. He concludes his argument with the question of asking what other restrictions and regulations should the U.S. put on guns, if any at all. The purpose of this debate was to evaluate and discuss the relevance of and the necessity for the Second Amendment, as well as its positive and negative characteristics, in order to discuss ways we can prevent mass shootings and gun violence in general in the future. The point of this debate was also to encourage and persuade people to listen to and attempt to understand the other side of an argument, because that is the only way real discussion can be had and real change can be made.
The intended audience for any type of debate are people who hold an opposing belief or opinion. They do this in order to reach a solution to the debated topic. The intended audience for this debate is those opposing gun control and regulation.